A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Madad ya Sayyidi ya Rasul Kareem ya Habibul Azim unzur halana wa ishfalana wa biduni bi madadakum wa nazarakum inshaAllah. Madad ya Sayyidi ya Sultan al-Awliya ma Shaykh Abdul Faiz al-Daghestani. Madad ya Sayyidi ya Sultan al-Awliya Shaykh Muhammad Nazim Haqqani. Madad ya Sayyidi ya Mawlana Shaykh Hisham Qabbani unzur halana wa ishfalana wa biduni bi madadakum wa nazarakum. Ana abdukal ajiz da'i wa miskeen wa zalim wa jahal, and if not by the grace of Allah we cease to exist. That taking a path of nothingness and asking that Allah's everythingness, Allah's might and majesty to dress us and bless us. And those are the turuqs in which they inherit, Allah granting them a grant that whom Allah chose for their souls that hidayat. And the greatest of hidayat is murshidun waliyun murshida. That Allah in Ashab al-Kahf in Surah al-Kahf is describing that there are awliyaullah who are murshids and guides, and it's a big ni'mat if Allah put us into the hands of these awliyaullah. And alhamdulillah our belief Sultan al-Awliya Shaykh Muhammad Nazim Haqqani and Sultan of our heart Mawlana Shaykh Hisham Qabbani, that these are huge awliyaullah, most powerful on this earth. My belief, and my belief has opened my heart because of that love. So I can only talk from what I understand and from the understanding that been poured into our hearts. With that love they come into our life and begin to teach the way of Holy Qur'an and to live in the holy sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad. And in the way of this reality there are 11 principles of Naqshbandiyya sent by Mawlana Shah Naqshband, that a principle and way of our belief and way of reaching our realities. And from Holy Qur'an Allah describing between the relationship of Nabi Musa and accompanying Sayyidina Khidr. Nabi Musa being far more superior is Kalimullah, and following a Muhammadan guide of Sayyidina Khidr then is a big test, is a big difficulty. It's going to require all his training, that to accompany Sayyidina Khidr is going to be difficult because of what he knows, Nabi Musa. So it's a path of humility. And for our understanding Allah is describing this Sayyidina Khidr is one who attained the rahmah, and then we taught him ilm al-laduni, which is very different than the characteristics of today. Means the one whom attained the rahmah means all his life was in search of Sayyidina Muhammad. Rahmatan lil alameen means it's Sayyidina Muhammad. Allah's rahmah, when He wants to dress creation with rahmah, He inspired them towards Sayyidina Muhammad for all the Prophets. The Sayyidina Isa talking about Nabi Ahmad. Nabi Ahmad, because of the alif, is the highest reality of Sayyidina Muhammad. That Ahmad is dressed from Ahad, and Samad becomes Ahmad. His Ahadiyya reality that is uniquely given to Prophet and he is wahid. There's nothing like unto Prophet. As there's nothing like unto Allah dressing the reality of Nabi Ahmad means that is the name within the center of the nucleus of all power. Whether we go into the nucleus of ourself or we go in towards the heavens and find the Divinely presence of the heavens, that you cannot leave the circle of creation. So la ilaha illallah is outside of this understanding. La ilaha illallah imitation is you imitate by saying La ilaha illallah so that Allah will bless you to come to the circle. Now don't think there's 3 or 4 gods, that there are multiple gods, otherwise they would be battling in the heavens as 3 people sitting in a room battle in the room. So by saying La ilaha illallah is first imitated La ilaha illallah, that come to oneness, come to the realization that Allah huwa al-ahad. So then all creation should come to the circumference of creation. Everything exists on that circle of creation. Allah outside of its understanding. The center of that reality Nabi Ahmad who are just from Sifat al-Ahad and his ahadiyya realities, that Allah gave that ahad, gave that alif, that your ilahi reality, that this reality is only to me and I'm reflecting that upon you and giving you that ahadiyya dress, which is the reality of the soul of Prophet, the reality of Nur al-Anwar wa Sirat al-Asrar. It's the reality of every light around us. Samad, because it's sustained by Allah. Allah want to give a reality because you can't say Allah. So the Arabs with Arab background they may say, oh this is Allah. But no, you cannot contribute a space in which you can occupy with Allah, because this is the reality of our soul. This is the reality of all creation, that in your reality you cannot be one with Allah. Your dhurriya, your atom, your lights cannot go back to a place with Allah, la shareek. Cannot be shabeek, cannot be like Allah and cannot breathe and occupy a space with Allah. So Allah saying that far beyond that, you worry about creation. So tafakkur and contemplation is only in hatta creation. We're not philosophy and start to contemplate where God is. We don't even know ourselves, why you want to know where God is? So it means then Prophet taught, make contemplation on creation, and Prophet being humble, because not saying I'm the best of creation, but make contemplation on creation. So most people contemplate about the trees and the ocean and they meditate to shells and bushes. The best of meditation and best of contemplation is to say to Muhammad, Ya Rabbi, what's this great soul that you created? Adam al-Qadnan means even from Hebrew they understood there's a soul in which we are all existing within that reality. We don't know our place and our time in reference to everything. Where are you right now? Where are we right now? We don't know if we are on a bush somewhere. There's a cartoon for the children. What's the… who knows who? That elephant that he's got a little leaf and there's a whole universe inside there, and that universe doesn't understand anything outside of it. They can't imagine that they're just on a leaf and there's a huge elephant outside of that. It means in relationship to where we are, we have no understanding of what we are. Only by the virtue of an airplane we were able to go up. As soon as we went up on a plane we realized, I'm really so small, I'm so majorly insignificant. How can Allah see me? At 30,000 feet you can't see yourself, you can't see your home. And then now with these Hubble spaceships, they take you outside of the whole universe. Our universe is so immense that even our planet can't be seen. So in relationship to where we are in this creation was not known by the mind, but awliyaullah they understood through their khashf and through their soul. That when Allah opens their soul and their tafakkur and contemplation, means this is not from hadd of the head, this is not from the understanding of head and contemplation of the head, but through their tafakkur and through their contemplation Allah take them through the oceans of annihilation in which they attain the rahmah. They attained the rahmah means that they got and drew close to Sayyidina Muhammad. As they drew close to Sayyidina Muhammad, the reality of Prophet destroys every kufr, every disbelief, anything that approaches Prophet all its imperfection will be destroyed. Everything will be annihilated of imperfection until Prophet brings them into perfection. Means by virtue of crushing their being and taking a path, which was the example of Nabi Musa. Allah said, I want to clarify for you, this one that you're going to meet, he attained a rahmah, and then we taught him ilm laduni, that the knowledge he has is not from his acquiring but from his rahmah, means that he drew close to that presence. By drawing close to that presence, taqullah wa alimukumullah, that through their consciousness and through their soul these lights are immediately beginning to be deposited upon their soul. So when we went with the lataif of the heart, means that you see the yellow, you see the red, you see the white, you see the green, you see the black. This was an old time projection TV. Anyone who had an old projection TV, there were 5 bulbs, and by virtue of these 5 bulbs they made a television show to appear on a screen. Means that every reality is coming to us by this light. If they don't sit in front of you and begin a transmission of infrared signal, that light doesn't open. That is the rule. Allah is free to do an exception. But the rule that Allah is giving through Holy Qur'an, and the example is through that example of Sayyidina Musa and Sayyidina Khidr. By that accompanying, there's going to be a conveyance of knowledge, not from physicality but from soul to soul. So as soon as they begin to sit and tafakkur, they took an understanding to be nothing, to be nothing, to be nothing. In that nothingness then they begin to make the tafakkur with this source of power, and when they understood that source of power they don't move left and they don't move right. There's nobody that can benefit them but that source of power. Everything else is but a distraction. That with their tafakkur and their contemplation, I want to be nothing, I want to be nothing, I want to be nothing, I want to be dressed by your light Sayyidi, dress me from your nazar, dress me from your gaze. And that becomes then in front of them, that slowly the shaykh begin to deposit realities upon their soul. So when they're making their tafakkur and asking to be nothing, to be nothing, to be nothing, they understood then from the teaching of that shaykh that his teaching is your food, his teaching is your food, so you eat from only his plate. And that's why Allah says, they feed you from their sustenance and they love their sustenance. They're not giving it away because it's cheap and it's free. They feed you, but what were the categories? You had to be miskeen, because only the miskeen sees that table. They feed you. So then, and all they want, because the translation how they cheated people, all they want is wajh Allah. Who wants wajh Allah? Common people, they know what wajh Allah is? They know what the face of Allah is? No, awliya. They do what they do to be at the holy face in which Allah is shining upon them from the face of Sayyidina Muhammad, and that face dresses their 7 lataifs of their face and their essences. We said before, Al-Muqtadir, Al-Sami, Al-Basir, Alim, Al-Qadir, Wal-Nur Hayy. 7 essences, 7 flames that were also mentioned in the book of Revelation when John came upon the throne. And he said, I see a king and next to him the lamb. The lamb is Sayyidina Isa, the king is Sayyidina Muhammad, and he called it the emerald throne. Like this majestic turban that you're wearing and the beautiful green dome of Medina. They don't see that, they don't read the same book. The emerald throne is Sayyidina Muhammad, and he says, it's not God, I see a king and I see 7 eternal flames dressing them. These are the 7 divine attributes of Allah that dress the holy face. So then the ayah of feeding is not something small. They say, give you kebabs. By means of that food they're dressing you with spiritual food, because nobody can take the spiritual dress. Even they'll sit like that cross, means I'm blocking my heart. They're not relying on people to be able to take the tajalli into themselves, because it requires a very pure heart to absorb completely that energy. They put the food, they put the secret in the food, in the ta'am, that whatever you eat, whatever you drink, whatever you do here with them, the secret is in that food, and their character then is from that reality. But you have to be miskeen, means the miskeen are humble. They come, Ya Rabbi, I'm hungry. You have to have a hunger within yourself of realities. If you're filled with realities, you're like full and you say, do you want to eat? You say, no, I ate thank you earlier. This is very symbolic of our path. If you've eaten, you'll see nothing for the table for yourself, and this is a table that Allah sent at every moment for awliyaullah, as He sent one time for Sayyidina Isa. The table that Sayyidina Isa had asked for with lots of du'a, lots of requests, send me Ya Rabbi this table. Say, if I send to you and they don't eat, they're going to be punished. But for Ummah Muhammad, every table that comes down for the turuqs, their du'a upon that is completely angelic. Any food around them, any drink around them has an angelic reality. Those angels say, Samina wa ahtana, and they deposit the secrets within the soul of that being. And they begin to dress them, and they have to be miskeen, they have to be yatim. Yatim because they have to be cut off from everyone. Anyone looking to you is trying to teach you. How are you going to be miskeen? How are you going to be yatim? Your father going to teach you, your mother going to teach you. So we just left Sayyidina Yusuf. Allah wanted to give a secret to Sayyidina Yusuf but saying, your father can't teach you this reality. So it means yatim, you have to be cut off so that you have his full connection. Whose connection? The one that you're connecting your heart with, because you're coming to his table. Yes Sayyidi, I want to eat from your table. So then be yatim. You're cut off, abtar, you have nobody that even want to help you. Many lost their family because their family didn't accept. They said, no, I don't accept you with this beard and this look. Not only non-Muslim, Muslim. Then why you have to wear? I said many times, went to relatives' house and they complain, why you have to look like that? They stopped inviting me. So, oh no, we don't have to invite him again, he's going to come with that big turban and make us feel embarrassed. And they stop inviting you, you become yatim. You're miskeen and you're humble. Yatim, miskeen, prisoner, captive, no free will. You don't make choices, you don't choose left, you don't choose right. This is not in relation to bad things of the material world, this is in relation to spiritual practices. That everything in our life is to always question, why is my shaykh doing like that? Why is the shaykh doing like that? Why my shaykh got like this? Why my shaykh like that? This is a yatim, miskeen slave who has lots of opinions of which none of them they care about. Because his slave is just, you're dragging him and he's complaining the whole time, why you gotta go like this, why you gotta go like this, why we gotta go, why we gotta sit here, why we gotta get up now, why we gotta eat this way. And they're teaching that these are the ways of characteristic. Those three characteristics Allah putting in the Holy Qur'an, that they're going to feed you. But these characteristics you have to have. You have to be like an orphan, cut off from everything. That I want nothing but to sit at your table. Grant me your nazar, and you're waiting because all your characteristics will show them if you're ready to eat from their table. They're not handing it out like a soup kitchen for poor people. Because Allah describes, no, they love this sustenance. These are secrets that they struggled their whole life to achieve. They're not dishing it out because it's just got too much of it, they don't know what to do with it. So they're waiting in your tafakkur, and that's why they said, I can wait with you 100 years. Either you take your one step, I'll wait with you and I'll grab you in the grave. But that's very sad to wait till you get into the grave. It's much easier to take that tafakkur now, take that contemplation now and understand, Ya Sayyidi Ya Mawlana Shaykh Hisham Qabbani, Madadul Haq Ya Hujjatullahi al-Mukhlas. He has a spiritual name in which you call him, by means of calling him know that he is present with you. Sayyidi, I'm asking to be yatim, that I'm cut off from everyone, my only love is for you. I only want to eat from your table, dress me from your realities, bless me from your realities, and then begin to teach. Means then come hungry to my table and eat from my table. With all your being you're moving in His direction, means we spent our whole life writing all His realities, because that was my eating. I ate everything that He was dishing out. I was writing all these realities, practicing, contemplating, because if you want to know something you have to be from it. You can't know it from the outside. You can't say, I know what that ocean feels like, you have to jump in. And by jumping in you become like a fish, you're going deep into it. Means you studied everything He put out. You ate and drank everything He's doing, so that when you're in tafakkur you're hearing the way He talks. Even when He would change His lecture, somebody would edit the lecture incorrectly, I knew that this wasn't His words. Shaykh Nazim was more powerful because he had a Turkish type of thing. Some people would come and change the word to make it more perfect English. I say, why are you doing that? Because as I'm reading this I'm hearing him, because his flavors is known and dear to my heart. Reading and you would hear Shaykh Nazim with like the broken English when they were transcribing sobats from Ramadan and from London. But Shaykh Hisham has a flavor. When you hear Shaykh Hisham speak, you read Shaykh Hisham's articles and his realities that he's put out, 77 books on everything based on Islam. Means you'd be eating all those realities, being dressed by all those realities, and then telling yourself, I am a captive, a good captive, not an ISIS captive, because then they watch and say, oh what are you talking about? Means that you surrender your will of the bad desires that always wants to complain, always has an issue. People even come and say, why you start late, why you serve food late, why… All of those reasons is exactly why we are here on this carpet, because we have so many bad concerns, so many bad issues. All of those have to be destroyed until that servant becomes nothing. When the servant becomes nothing, nothing means no more complaint. That what comes comes, what doesn't come doesn't come, means they're dressing me from sabr. When they dress me from sabr, I'm dying in this world, because you begin to lose the taste of everything. It's a very hard path. They're constantly battling yourself and sobats that you hear and the time that you spend in His presence begin to crush and to crush and to crush until you feel yourself, your energy point is going down. Because the active energy means that you're too active. That energy will be brought down to where you reach a 0 point energy. Means as if you are like dying on the horizon and become now a state of maut and qabl al-maut. That the desire for the material world is left you. You fought with it. And we went through so many testings for 15 years of travelling and companionship, and all the crazy people around. The shaykhs are like a… what do you call? He said, when I want to polish people I put them in a bag and I shake the bag, and you shake, what happens? These rocks just smashing each other all day long. We've said many times in our life, very big testing, continuous testing, smashing. With all of that smashing, then something will come out shiny. By means of each of these stones hitting each other, they're taking away all the bad characteristics. By doing that, then the shaykh is bringing that person down in their energy, down. As soon as they become down, they're entering into maut and qabl al-maut, that the flavour of everything has gone. Only at that point then they can begin to send their lights. Because if everybody's excited, oh I got so many things to do shaykh, I got some businesses and contracts, and okay let me meditate 2 minutes, okay well, I gotta go, bye. That's not going to happen. It's only going to happen when the taste of everything is gone. When the taste of everything is gone and gone, then that student begins to make their tafakkur and begins to feel the dress of the shaykh dressing them, blessing them, filling them with these lights, filling them with these realities. until they can keep those lights. As much as they can keep the light of the shaykh, then the shaykh is entrusting him with those realities and begin to dress him from his realities, bless him from his realities. We pray that Allah dress us and bless us, that we moved from one reality and went into a different direction. That we started with Sayyidina Ahmad that to reach to the reality of that nucleus. It's ahadiyya, samadiyya dress, that dressing all creation. Means that they wanted to attain the rahmah of Prophet. By attaining that rahmah is conveyed through these awliyaullah. They carry that reality of Prophet. They carry the maqam al-mahmud and they carry the Muhammadan dress. These are the dresses of the reality of Prophet. From the Nabi Ahmad is the center of all power, dressing ahadiyya samadiyya dress. That ahadiyya samadiyya dress is the dress of our soul, is the reality of our soul. Our soul is a drop from the drop of the soul of Prophet. Means that our reality is from the reality of Sayyidina Muhammad. As much as we purify it and sanctify it and dress its light, it begins to understand its origin. That's why the zikr is so important, that's why the mahfiz are so important, that's why the durood al-sharif and the milad al-Nabi. The milad al-Nabi, its secret is that when they come into our life and teach, your soul is from a drop, Abu Arwah, who's the universal soul for all realities, for all creation. That your soul is a drop from that light. As soon as you make milad al-Nabi, what are you doing? You're celebrating your birth, because your birth is from that birth. If not for that birth, you're non-existent. As soon as you celebrate and acknowledge and make Mawlid al-Nabi your entire reality, as if your light is coming to life, coming to where its origin and begins to understand its origin. So we said before that 1 cup and 1 cup is always 2 cups, because this is the world of form. So what we described of the meditation and contemplation was to destroy the form. If there's no form, then it's just the ocean of light which is symbolic of the water. So 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, it's still one ocean. Means this is the ocean of Muhammadun Rasulullah. As soon as we make Mawlid al-Nabi and take a path of crushing the form, crushing the form, crushing the form, your drop goes back into the ocean of Prophet. That ocean is Bahr al-Hayat. That ocean is the ocean of all realities. If your soul is dressed in this ocean and begins to teach you of this ocean, means every reality is in the reality of Prophet. That's where they are taking us. We pray that Allah open for us more and more, and that they dress us from the lights of Mawlana Shaykh's heart, give us the ability to keep our focus and keep our understanding, to do the tafakkur, because it's not easy. That Allah has to send us support, that shaitan not to distract us left and right, and to move into their reality, and in that reality Mawlana Shaykh to dress us, bless us and take difficulty away from us and present us to the holy presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi.